Warning! This podcast contains Wonder Woman. What's up, everyone, and welcome to the As Seen on TV podcast for Legends of Tomorrow, Season 3, Episode 6, Helen Hunt. I'm your host, Dom. Joining me is Nikki and Rachel.
Hi.
How's it going?
No, welcome to my living room, where
Welcome.
I have to sit because I screwed up my knee.
Yay!
I'd like to take people other places in my house, but you don't want to see the rest, man.
You can see what my cats have done to the blinds. That's about.
Yeah. So, what'd you guys think of this episode?
It was very. I like the fact that it basically took the males right out of the whole entire episode.
Yeah.
It was very female strong, yeah. That was a good thing.
To be fair, if the Freaky Friday plotline wasn't going on, I probably would not have liked this episode at all. So,
okay.
That and
everything we said that was going to happened to on that point.
Yep. We nailed that. We totally nailed that. And the twist that we found out with Damien Dark was really interesting. But we'll get to that. We started in Hollywood, 1937, at Warner Brothers Studios, and the actual Helen of Troy shows up onto the set and alters history forever. We now have Hollywood Land instead of Hollywood. The whole billboard was changed in the mountains.
It became Hollywood when they had the earthquake.
Yep. And
they just let the land off.
Mm-hmm. And apparently, with Helen of Troy taking over the role, Hedy Lamarr could not proceed with her movie career, and apparently all of technology is tied to Hedy Lamarr's career. I didn't understand. Did anybody catch why that was significant?
Not
well,
really.
I can bolster a guess. From her being this mega star, she was probably taken a little more seriously when she came up with all these patents. If she was just an operator and she said this would work, this, and that, they'd be like, whatever.
That's right, yeah.
And if she didn't become famous and was able probably to do schooling, able to afford schooling, if I'm not mistaken, she did put herself through, I think she did do some college and stuff like that.
Okay.
So it's kind of, it's a domino effect.
Yeah.
Yes, the butterfly effect that we hear about all the time, yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, so I didn't quite catch who the rival to Warner Brothers would be in, like, actual.
MGM?
They said it was K&D Pictures.
It'd be MGM.
Yeah, but I don't know. It didn't feel right because I'm thinking it would be MGM, but the name K&D didn't had any reference to MGM.
No, they probably couldn't say MGM.
Yeah.
Well, I know they couldn't say MGM, but you would try to make it sound close to it. K&D doesn't even sound close to MGM.
Oh, who knows? Sorry.
They'd probably get dinged very, very much so, because it does cause, it's like even though it's fictional, it's a conflict between two competitor companies and stuff like that. I
would do NHN or something like that, shift it one letter over, just to kind of be like, yep, that's what it was, but we can't say it, but I don't know, K&D didn't really do anything for me. But, it was interesting to see because, like you said, all the males were enamored over Helen of Troy, which we learn about the 10-year war that they had over her and, all that. And she's just like, yeah, well, around here, I don't have to worry about that as people are all beating the shit out of each other.
So
That's what she thinks.
is she is she cursed or something? Is that in, because I've never really looked into Helen of Troy.
It was supposed to be that she was so beautiful that men fought over her. That's basically the legend.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure there was other things, other like politics.
I feel like, in this case, she comes into a time where, that there's beautiful people all over the place, especially in LA. And, she walks in and instantly she has men fighting over her. Guy accidentally knocks over a pillar that, from the set, and then there's a fist fight there. I, I don't know. I thought it was just some because two guys liked her and they fought over her in the war. There's a war and stuff. I didn't really think it would carry over almost magically.
Right.
Yeah, it's one of those lores like what they did bring it up in there. They're like, well, I thought it was just basically a fairy tale.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, some things there's a grain of truth.
Yeah. Now, see, if this was the show Warehouse 13, they would have made some artifact surrounding Helen of Troy that made her, enamored by everybody around her, and, the artifact would have carried over, and somebody would have got a hold of the artifact, and it would have had the same effect. So,
yeah.
I like that they didn't go that route, and they almost made her feel like a metahuman from the past,
Yeah, almost. It's almost like she has this, unnatural ability. Maybe she did.
Obviously, she doesn't know. Obviously,
no.
But I
think she's cursed.
Yeah, she just thinks she's cursed. But I don't know. I can't remember exactly why the war was started. It definitely probably started over her. One guy wanted her, one guy had her, or whatnot.
Yeah.
It's men's ego. There you go. But no, it was just the tale is that she was so beautiful, men fought over her, and that's why the war started.
Okay.
Whether or not how true it is or not, history, you'd have to really go look. I'm not gonna go look at Helen of Troy. I didn't really study it.
No, that's why I was like, I've never, I love mythology like that, but I've never looked into that one in particular. Probably because it sounded like it was just a bunch of stupidity. Being stupid. Sorry.
It does sound like a bunch of made up stuff, but it actually is. There is a history.
Yeah.
Because there is a town of Troy.
Oh, I know.
Yep. But then we had the Freaky Friday plot with Ray and Jax, and it's everything Stein and Jax. It's Ray that did it. But it's everything that I wanted and more.
It was everything, and we were even right about the whole when they combined. It wasn't Jackson's face. It was Stein's face. And it was just hilarious. It was everything. I swear we called everything about that.
Yeah,
we
I loved
did.
it.
We sat here and
I'm not even upset because usually when I call everything, I get upset and I'm like, oh, that was way too predictable. But this was more of this is what I want out of it, not what I expect out of it, and they delivered everything that I wanted, and the
fact that the way that they took on each other's mannerisms had to have been. I don't know how. I want to see the outtakes of that because they had to have had outtakes just to get them right. They had
especially when Stein the Stein's body was phrasing things like Jax would and using the slang and short terms. It was freaking hilarious. Especially when he was nudging Stein and Jack's body to go get jiggy with Hedy Lamarr.
It's the words that are coming out of Stein's mouth, we're psychically connected. I know you wanted to do the dance. I'm like, oh God, just please don't say that. That's
the way he did the pump.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's like watching your grandpa do it. You're like, no, stop.
No, I loved every second of it. It was fantastic.
Oh, it was amazing.
It was funny.
It's fantastic.
No, that explains why why that actor, I'm sorry, name escapes me, is kind of stepping away from Legends and going to the Orville as a reoccurring role, because that show is all about the cheesy funness, hilarity,
Yeah. Well,
comedy,
he's
and
leaving for Broadway, but he's doing reoccurring role on
yes,
Legend. I mean on Orville, but reoccurring role in his current state wouldn't really work for Legends, to be honest.
no,
Especially
no,
one
no,
half
no,
of Firestorm, you can't leave him behind and go
no,
see him once, a season or something like that.
no. Yeah. So like, I mean, he fits the part of comedy. He's comedic gold, that man. And you see him singing. That's why he's doing Broadway. He's got an amazing opera voice on him. So like he does have all these other avenues that he wants to move on to. And
I
so
don't blame him.
after, I don't blame him either. But after this episode, seeing how funny he really, really is, I see why he's not only like stepping away from Legends, but going to the Orville to because I mean, if you've watched it, it's a hilarious show. So
hmm
I mean, that's where he's going, guys. Broadway and the Orville.
Yep.
But Jackson throwing out like the $5 words was hilarious.
Oh yeah.
I mean, hell, even Dark was cracking up.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I love that Hedy Lamarr ended up being Stein's like one free celebrity pass.
It's free pass, yeah.
Like everybody's got the celebrity pass thing. It's a joke. It's whatever because it'll
Or is
never
it?
happen. It'll never happen. That's the only reason the two people agree to it in the first place because it'll never happen. But
Yeah.
when it could, that's when it starts bringing some trouble, going on.
And see, that's you could see like Jax telling Stein when they're switched, like hey, you're in my body. It's not technically going against whatever. You could see him trying to like drive that into him, like you can go have fun. You have
the
the
fact that-
opportunity.
I love the fact that Van Damme was his wife's free pass.
Oh, that gave me the shivers. I can't. He creeps me out.
I had made biggest crush on him.
But like, I'm curious
Really
of
nice.
like when they made like how long have Stein and his wife been married?
They
long
said
time.
a very long time, like the 80s.
Because
Yeah, well, they had her in about around. She got pregnant. What was that episode? Was like around 83
Yeah.
when they were in the White House.
so yeah, if it was the 80s, Hedy Lamarr would have been 60 at the time. So it's probably right around. No, it's not around. It's probably around Stein's age now, 20 years prior, which just weirds me out that because Hedy Lamarr died in 2000, so it's like that's really weird how like potentially his one free pass is somebody who's dead. Like did they make that after the fact? Did they do it early?
Well, he did
Um,
mention that, there was one point in their marriage where they were looking just for a little bit of more interest in
Well,
their
yeah.
love life.
That's my point.
And I think it was way before had he even died. Like, I mean, if they've been married since, like, say, 85, let's just say. That
She would have been
that's-
like 80 at the time then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he probably was thinking it's never going to happen. So I'm just gonna my childhood crush.
Exactly. If she's a beautiful woman and talented and intelligent, and he loves the intelligent women. He just that he gets off on intelligence.
I mean,
because
she's
he
the one that
is-
convinced them to turn into Firestorm, and she gave them, a logistical reason of why it would
Yeah.
work, and it did end up working. So
And she likes
So-
older men.
Yeah. Yeah.
More mature men.
mature.
But see, then we have Sarah, who she wants to take out Dark, but she doesn't want to do it like Rip did. She doesn't want to make the same mistakes of Rip. She doesn't want to lose her perspective. So it's like when Nate comes in and he hasn't showered in like a month, she's like, you need to go do that. And he's like, I'll do it after we catch Dark. Do you not realize that's probably going to take all season, Nate? Like, you should probably get in the shower now.
Yeah, just you basically have the Jetsons shower. You can just walk in and be clean. So go have a freaking shower.
Just walk in
I
and
love
be
the fact that
clean.
he's like, I don't know what day it is. It's kind of hard out here in the temporal rift.
It's true though.
Yeah, they don't know.
There is no sense of time out in the time rifts.
Yeah, they need a calendar or something.
Having a calendar wouldn't even matter because there's no actual days out there.
No,
Yeah.
but at least
There's
Gideon
no-
could have a clock running or something.
But there's no day and night cycles. The clocks are relevant because whenever they jump, they're jumping to different times, literally. So
It's not the fact that they're jumping to different times. It's just that
They just-
clock. It's just to make it so that it is stable inside the Wave Rider.
But is
Yeah,
time
they
even
need-
passing in the Wave Rider?
They just need a point.
Obviously,
a
because if
viewpoint.
time
They just
wasn't
need a-
passing, Nate wouldn't get gross.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about keeping time as in relevant to the time around them. I mean, just inside the Wave Rider, just so they can keep track of their routines.
Yeah. Because that would be a little confusing.
Mm-hmm.
Be a little hard to just be like, oh, guys, now it's 1 a.m., but there's no day or night, so we don't really know if it's 1 a.m.
You wouldn't, it would be 12-hour cycles. You wouldn't say 1 a.m. or 12 p.m. or whatever. It would just be 1, 2, 3, all the way to 12, and then it would just repeat. Or you could even do military time. It wouldn't matter at that point. You're just keeping the time to keep
Just
your
something
routine.
to keep your body in that routine.
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
you've seen how your body freaks out when you have to switch time from daylight savings time to standard time.
Nah.
Your
And
body
even-
freaks out. So
Even when you have to fly from
Yeah.
like East Coast to West Coast, that
Yep.
2-3 hour difference really messes up your body. So just for them to keep on their routine, so I say at when the clock says 7, that's when I eat my breakfast. That's when I eat my eggs and toast, and then you could just figure it out from there.
Mm. Yeah, I don't know.
You don't sleep, so you're like Nate right now,
That's-
except you shower.
That's true. That is true. But yeah,
You don't need clocks.
no. I only need clocks to know what time the podcast is. That's it. But yeah, when they're all the guys are fighting over Helen of Troy, in the thing, this is when Damien Dark shows up, and he confronts Sarah and cuts a deal, and he's like, "Look, if you go back to 2017 and mind your own business, I'll let everybody live. But if you don't, I'll kill them all one by one, save you to last, and let you watch and realize that you could have saved them, and that this is all your fault." So, of course, they decide not to.
there was one little bit that he said really quick, and I don't think Sarah caught on. He says, "Having you guys around is bad for business." So he's in a business of some site with someone.
It's
Because
like probably an unwritten contract kind of thing.
he's doing something.
It
that
could
he's-
also
he's-
just
he's
be
up to do.
it could also just be like a figure of speech,
I don't know. I think that he's up to something because he could have killed them. He could have killed them multiple times, but he didn't. There's a reason why he's not doing it, and I don't know. I just have a feeling that there's something more to it.
Could be. But in this thing, we learn during the Damien and Sarah fight, when they clearly defied them, Sarah starts getting drained of her life force, and Gideon has to end up putting her in a coma to heal. But during this fight, though, we learn that is in fact Damien Dark's daughter Nora. I know this is something Rachel had asked last week, and just based on the name alone, that was not the case last week. What we weren't expecting was for Damien Dark to go into the future
And bring her back.
rip his daughter out of some point in the future and bring her back with him. So she has a lot of hatred and resentment toward Sarah for watching her father die in the first place. So
I love the fact that she's like, when they're fighting, she's like, "No magic, it's just swords." And he's like, "I don't need to kill you with magic." She goes, "That's funny. That's what Oliver said when he killed you."
yeah.
And it was just like, I was like, yes.
Oh, you get so bad.
That was so
So
good.
bad.
I loved it. Like, oh, that's what Oliver said when he killed you. He got all pissed. He got pissed.
Yep. In the meantime, though, they had taken Helen back to the ship, kind of explain the whole time travel situation to her, why she needs to go back and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And Amaya arms her with a knife just so she's not unarmed, this whole thing. And Helen's she's completely in shock that we have like all these women fighters and stuff like that.
Well,
It's something she's
them
not
warriors.
used to. Yeah.
She thought they were warriors.
Yeah.
Well-
Something she's not used to where she's from.
No.
So she's armed with a knife and she's sitting back, and then this is when Kuasa comes onto the ship, and her and Amaya have this fight, and Zari gets knocked off unconscious out into a wall somewhere. And this is where Kuasa finds out that this is actually her granddaughter. And
You mean Amaya finds out that it's Kuwasa is the granddaughter?
yeah,
Or
that's what I said.
no, you did not say that. You said Kuwasa finds out that Amaya is the granddaughter.
Oh, well, that's what
The other way around.
No, I'm confused. It's okay. It's okay.
It happens.
I
I just needed to clarify.
I could have sworn I said that's when she finds out that Kuasa's her granddaughter. That's what I read off my notes word for word. So, but this is where Helena Troy comes in and just stabs Kuasa, and she turns into Alex Mack and waters herself out of the ship and escapes.
For a lot of people out there, they probably don't get that reference.
It's fine.
Just,
Alex Mack's a puddle. That's all you need to know.
Google it.
I think it's funny how Kuasa makes. Yeah, that was supposed to go to me, but instead it went to my little sister. She was like all like trying to almost play the victim.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, you're trying to kill people.
That's why you didn't get the freaking totem, because you're a crazy bitch.
There was a reason why. And when Ray sat down and talked to Maya, I think he wanted to tell her, but Maya's like, no, I don't want to know it yet, blah blah. I understand for both sides, but at the same time, I think she should know why she did not get
the totem,
and why, what happened and stuff like that. I think she needs to know, because I think that's a very, very big piece of this puzzle.
Yeah. Yep.
And maybe she's supposed to know. You don't know that.
Yeah. I don't know, but we know that Kuasa has the water totem, right? And it seems like Zari has the air totem.
The thing is, though, Kuasa seems to have melded herself with her own totem. So It's not a physical object on her. It is part of her now.
Right.
Yeah, that's
but we know Zari represents air, and Amaya seems to represent life.
Nature, life, yeah.
So we need earth and fire, and we can summon Captain Planet. No?
Go home.
No?
Go to your room.
I am home.
Think about what you just did.
I am home.
You're not in your room. Go in your home and think about what you
I'm in the Wave Rider. It's fine. But no Captain Planet. Heart.
No.
Lisa's heart. Heart is kind of like life, so same thing. Or as Red Bandit Chet says, or The Last Airbender.
Hey,
maybe,
anything's better than that movie that was made. So let's just say
maybe it's Aang. Who knows?
I haven't seen the live action. If that's what you're talking about?
Yeah, it's bad. Don't do it.
It's terrible.
Okay.
Don't do it. But during all this, we come back and Dark and Nora are battling with Firestorm, and Firestorm overpowers them, and they're like, "Yeah, this is probably our exit." They use some kind of device, and it almost looks like Captain Jack Sparrow's compass from Pirates of the Caribbean. Like, it really reminded me of that. So I don't want to say for sure it's some kind of a compass, but it feels like a compass to me.
It might have been a compact. It might, look like, a woman's compact, because she's one that opened it.
Yeah.
So that might have been its disguise so that she could carry it around.
Maybe.
But, yeah. So it's something definitely futuristic. It isn't something that was from the...
It's probably...
She had.
You know how compasses work? They always point north. So maybe they have like a homestead, a home base, and that's where that compass is leading. Or maybe it does work like Jack's compass, where they think of where they want to go, and then she opens it and opens a portal.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Could be. But then they kind of Stein sets Hedy Lamarr back on her path. They take her away from the phone operator and get her back in her career. Everything is looking good. And then the episode ends with probably the biggest bombshell of DC references so far. And that's when they take Helen of Troy, who did disappear in reality, and drops her off on Wonder Woman's island.
Before Wonder Woman was a thing.
Yeah.
I bet you she trains them. She teaches them.
It's an island full of warrior women. I cannot pronounce this for my life, so I'm going to just try and butcher it. Themyscira.
Yeah, that actually is very, very well done. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for. I was going to butcher it, but that was actually
1253 BC. So this is definitely before Wonder Woman, but she's kind of training them. They don't have to worry about men there, so she's fine.
She gets to be a warrior woman. She gets to be a warrior woman now. She gets to be what she wants to be, and that's amazing.
Yep.
So I know this has probably been addressed before, and my DC knowledge isn't exactly up there with other people. How do they repopulate this island with more women?
They're made out of clay. They're made out of clay.
Made out of clay.
It's a thing. Because Diana, Wonder Woman, she's actually a god. They're made out of clay.
Isn't it some lore where there's some lores of dwarves where they're made out of clay and they come to life?
I don't know.
I think you're thinking of World of Warcraft.
I don't know. I just know that that's their thing. They're made out of clay.
Yep.
Okay.
And in the first Wonder Woman, I haven't seen it, but I saw, bits and pieces of the trailers and what people have shown. And they do mention it in the movies.
Okay.
Yeah, Lee says they are immortal as well.
Well, I know they're immortal because, they're immortal as if they live forever. But if they take fatal wounds,
right.
like if their head gets cut off, they're gonna die. If they get stabbed in the heart, they're gonna die. So they're immortal in a sense where they live forever, but they're not. What's the word? No, never mind. I'm not even gonna try.
They just don't age.
Yeah, they just don't age. That's it.
Or they get to a certain age and then they just stop.
Yeah.
I don't know. We don't know. I don't know exactly how the island works. I mean, I haven't read the comics.
Yeah, to be honest, Wonder Woman's probably the one I'm the least familiar with in the DC universe. So, out of the major DC characters, I should say, there's plenty of characters that I know absolutely nothing about, but Wonder Woman's probably the one I know the least about. I haven't even seen the new movie, so.
No, either have I.
But yeah.
Yeah, so. I don't know. It's something we could look into, but yeah, so definitely that would be a reason why Helen left, and that'd be a good place to put her, where there is no men.
So,
yeah.
Do you think because they're just throwing this at us as be like, here's a little teaser of maybe something that's to come in the future of Legends or another one of our shows, or they're setting up for another spinoff?
I think they're setting up for the movie Justice League.
They don't link. They're different universes.
I still think they're setting it up. Because, I mean, I've noticed in the other ones, they're little bits and pieces. But, yeah, I mean, that's the only thing I could think of, because I don't think they're going to do a spin-off of Wonder Woman or something. If they do it, it's not going to be anytime soon.
I don't know, because there is a little bit of Wonder Woman in the actual Crisis on Infinite Earth storyline. But this one, this crossover that's coming over is Crisis on Earth X. So I don't know exactly how much of the stories is going to cross over or whatever. But it would be great to get Wonder Woman even for a little bit.
Yeah, it would be cool. I mean, they're also doing. I'm going to be starting Wonder Woman 2 soon, ish.
Yeah, I know. I don't really see the movies being too tied into the TV shows since they are.
I'm not saying too tied in. I'm just saying They're going,
to
hey,
raise some hype a little bit.
yeah, hey, go watch the movie, kind of thing.
But I think it's more of just an Easter egg, like Red Bandit in chat is saying. Do you think we're gonna see the Mysteria again, or is just a throwaway Easter egg? I think for the time being, it's a throwaway Easter egg. But as we learned, anything can happen with the show. It's just a matter of them getting rights to certain characters. You know, like they don't have free reign to just use anything in DC that they want. No. They have to approve it and all this stuff, you know, even though CW is a subsidiary of Warner Brothers and Warner Brothers owns DC Comics and, you know, stuff like that. It's still something that they have to get permission for.
Right.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You know. So, do you guys have anything else for this episode?
Not really.
No.
It was I don't know. I kind of liked it. Of course, I like that time era anyways.
Yeah. Nikki, are you looking forward to next episode?
There's no synopsis, so I'm just assuming by you asking me that.
I told you last week.
There's gonna be some grudge.
I told you last week. Next episode is called Welcome to the Jungle. With Sarah out of commission, the team finds a new anachronism that leads them to the jungles of Vietnam and right in the middle of the war. Ray, Amaya, and Zari pose as journalists and trek through the jungle when they are led to time-displaced Gorilla Grodd. Meanwhile, Nate and Rory run into someone Rory knows, which gives a glimpse of the past.
I think it's hilarious that they put Gorilla Grodd in the middle of Vietnam when that was the coined term. Guerrilla warfare was.
Not a coincidence. Really, guys? Not a coincidence.
No, not a coincidence at all.
So
I'm excited.
Will we see, you know, Bubba and Forrest?
Maybe
some Lieutenant Dan.
I think Gorilla Grodd is going to be Lieutenant Dan.
Lieutenant Dan lost his legs.
No, Grodd has to stay in one piece, please.
Lieutenant Dan was in somewhat one piece.
Yeah.
Lost about a fourth of them. Lieutenant Dan got new legs.
But this should be interesting because I don't feel like this is going to set up anything for the crossover whatsoever, which follows immediately after the week after that.
No, we do know that Grodd plays a big part in the crossover, so it might be leading into it.
I don't know, because Legends is closing out the four-parter.
Yeah.
Like, their episode is called Crisis on Infinite Earth, Part 4. So, I don't know. It should be interesting, because normally, the way things air, Arrow's usually the last thing to air in the week, but Arrow's jumping to Monday. So,
yeah.
But yeah.
We're all going to have to watch a show we don't normally watch, Nikki.
I know.
It's not really a show. You're watching a 4-part miniseries, is what
Pretty
it is.
much.
And the way, I mentioned this on our Supergirl podcast last night, but the way we're going to handle it is we're going to just do Crisis on Infinite Earth as one podcast. We're going to do on the Wednesday after they air, in both the Flash and Legends spot, we're gonna have a 2-hour podcast covering the whole crossover.
All of it.
So
buckle up, people. Get your snacks and your drinks.
Hold on to your butts.
You're gonna hold on. I don't want to hold on.
How do you drink your drinks and eat your snacks if you're holding onto your butt?
You get a straw and a hoodie, and you wear the hoodie backwards, and you put all the food in the hood.
So you want them to eat like a dog?
Nikki, where can the people find you?
On Twitter, at LadyVenom24, LadyYvenom24.
Rachel, where can the people find you?
Find me at Twitter at VikingWitch76 and on Twitch at VikingWitch.
And you can find me down below at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM. And you can find us all. You can find us all and more on Facebook, Gmail, G+, Twitter, Discord, and right here on YouTube at /ASOTV podcast, and on Twitch at /ASOTV podcast as well. Until next time, see you guys later.
Bye.